What if I told you, fighter, you ranger, that you could have the power of the warlock in your hand? I offer you this. So, I'm back! I haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks, and this is why. I have created a new supplement for D&D 5e, of all things. I know I'm railing against it every single time, but I've created a new supplement to give you a taste of what you can have in Arches and Avatars, my own game system. I'm just porting little bits over bit by bit so you can be like, oh wow, this is actually pretty cool, and then eventually we can get a Kickstarter and support my own game. So anyway, welcome to Architrave Gaming. I'm the Archmaster. So, today, we're actually giving you a supplement, a little tip of the hat, if you will, or D&D with it, well, it doesn't twist very well, but we're going to give you a completely 100% certified pointy hat free supplement at the end of this, so stay tuned. All right, so the problem in D&D, at least what the problem we're talking about today, is that you have something like a warlock or a paladin or even something like a cleric. Although I won't get into that here. But you have this thing where it's like, oh, a person swore a sacred oath and they get power from it, or they struck a bargain with some patron and they get power from it. But the fantasy isn't actually supported in the mechanics of the game, because in order to get like power from some pact you swore with an entity, which is the subject of this video and this supplement, in order to do that, it's not something that you would expect it to be like, oh, I spent 10 years studying to be a fighter, and now I'm a first level fighter, right? I'm a veteran, and I'm really good at fighting, I'm super cool, I'm way better than the average Joe, right? And then, I found some pact with an eldritch entity, I struck a pact and now I have extra power, right? That's not how it works. Being a warlock replaces any other thing you would have. If you're you can't be a level 1 fighter and then also start out with level 1 warlock, unless you start the game at level 2, right? Warlock, making pact with an entity isn't added onto your class, and it really should be. It doesn't make any sense that it is your class, because the whole point about striking a pact with a warlock is that you're cheating. You went to some entity and got some power by selling your soul, right? That's unfair, right? Which is exactly the point of a warlock, right? It's not supposed to be something that, you spent 10 years learning and now you have a level in the class because you earned it, right? That's what wizards do. Wizards have to go out and learn and study, right? Fighters have to learn and study. A druid has to go out and do their druid stuff and meditate in nature and, do all this stuff, right? Those things take time and effort and practice. Getting a pact with a patron should be free. Well, not free, you should have to sell your soul, but it shouldn't take up class levels, right? So that's what this supplement is here to address. This version of it's only like 4 pages long. It only supplements the whole, warlock side of it, but future supplements are intended to cover the whole, paladin thing, like swearing a sacred oath. You should be a fighter or a rogue or, even a wizard or a ranger, and you should be able to swear a sacred oath of vengeance or a sacred oath to the crown. And it's not like, oh great, you're suddenly proficient in heavy weapons, in martial weapons and heavy armor. It's like, because of my oath? What? Right? That doesn't actually make any sense. Swearing a sacred oath shouldn't be part of your class. It shouldn't be a class. It should be something you add on to your class, right? So I'll get into that in the future. But for now, here's a taste of the kind of stuff, the kind of customization you'll get in D&D 5, the kind of customization you'll get in Arches and Avatars, my game, showing you here in D&D 5e. So, to start out with, I've already pretty much given it a decent intro, but the main new idea here is a new avenue of progression. I'm going to say avenue of progression a lot, so I'm just going to say AOP, avenue of progression, AOP. All right, so in D&D 5e, you have 2 avenues of progression, but not really. It's more like 1 1/4. Your main avenue, the main thing that you progress on, is your class. You have 20 class levels to fill, and you can fill them with, whichever classes you want. And then your race is kind of an avenue of progression, an AOP, but you only get like 3 features or something, and it stops at level 5, right? So it's like, it's not really. They really pretty much just have 1. The cool thing about Arches and Avatars is that we have 6 per character, plus an extra 3 that we'll get into later, eventually, not this video. So there are 6 different levels. You're level 3 here, and level 2 here, and level 5 there, and they all have different level caps. They aren't really called levels, but it's like different things that you can progress on, different things that you can do, besides just gain XP and level up in a class through the story of the character. There are other things you can do that level up or improve other aspects, other avenues of progression. So that's what we're introducing here, a new avenue of progression in D&D 5e. This avenue is called Piety. And so you can use Piety for like in future supplements, like alignment, where you follow your alignment and you walk the path and you do all the XYZ, you do the virtues or the vices associated with those alignments, and then you get powers and abilities and whatnot. You can be true neutral and then get luck, and I'll go into the whole thing later, but that's one use of piety. Another use of piety can be, any number of things. But the one we're covering here is piety toward an entity, an eldritch entity, an eldritch patron, right? It's the warlock thing. So to avoid copyright and blah, 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 I'm calling it instead of like a warlock pact, I'm calling it a soulbound pact. I'm calling the person a soulbound, but that's just for copyright. It's essentially a warlock. I also wanted to differentiate it from the warlock class, because you can still technically play with the warlock class. One player is a warlock class and another player is a fighter and has this pact-bound thing separately, but if it was my game running it, I wouldn't. I would just say, we don't do warlock class anymore. We just do this, which is how warlocks always should have been. Anyway, so in order to use piety, you have a new resource, a new thing called soul slivers, right? So now everyone actually has a soul in-game, and it's a real mechanical thing. You can find some spot in your character sheet and write soul slivers, 8, right? Every humanoid starts out with 8 soul slivers, right? And again, you can devote them to various things. For now, we're just talking about how would you devote this to an eldritch patron. So everyone has 8 soul slivers, and so I took all of the here. Well, we'll just start recording right now. I took all of the various patrons in D&D 5e, well, not technically all of them, the ones in the Player's Handbook, Xanathars, and Tasha's. I took them, along with all the Eldritch invocations in there, and the expanded spell list, where the book is like, oh, these are the recommended spells that really thematically fit with this patron. I took all of those, and I just assigned them in a locked down format and said, these are the spells that you get when you devote 1, 2, 3, 4, however many soul shards to an entity. You devote one soul shard to him, you get pact magic, you get a certain pact, like Pact of the Chain or something. You get an Eldritch invocation, you get a feature, what's essentially like a Warlock class feature or subclass feature. You get all of those in this separate avenue of progression, and you just get them when you devote soul shards instead of getting them when you increase in level in Warlock. It's like, no. Warlock isn't a class. You don't increase level, you devote soul shards. That's how you get these abilities. You're selling your soul bit by bit to this entity and getting power in return. You get, I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, you increase your piety toward a thing by giving it soul shards, right? And so, the GM can have you go into some dark cave or whatnot. There's this statue of some eldritch being, or maybe you go into the Feywild and meet the Archfey or something, right? There are lots of ways you can be introduced to a patron, but now it's actually an in-game thing where you actually, if your GM wants to use this, you actually find a real patron or a statue or a cult or whatever, a book, a magic mirror, etc. You actually find a real thing, you meet the patron, and the patron offers you terms and says, I want you to do this thing for me, and I will give you power. It's real. It makes you feel like an actual warlock. You're actually doing the thing that the description text tells you that you do, but hardly any of us actually get to do that because the game lets you get away with not doing it. So most GMs and players are just they choose the easy way, and they're like, oh, well, it's not deadly required, right? If you use this thing, it is. So anyway, you have your piety, your new avenue, you have these 8 soul shards, and so in the same way that in your class you have 20 levels to fill, when it comes to piety, you have 8 soul shards to fill. You're not really filling them, you're devoting them, you're actually giving them away, but you exchange them for power. So you can find an entity or whatnot, strike a pact, a bargain, a deal, a contract, etc. And there are all sorts of ways you can do that, all sorts of relationships that you can have with a patron. So it's very versatile, just as versatile as it is in 5e. We're not really changing anything. We're not taking away or adding. We're just moving around the format of how you get it and the fact that it adds on to your class. So now we'll get to the mechanics real quick. So using your pact magic, it doesn't give you the same flexibility and options that choosing the Warlock class in 5e would. If you want the actual Warlock experience, you can play a Warlock. This is more streamlined, and it's not as completely overpowered as it would be if you just got Warlock levels alongside your fighter levels or something, and that you just got both at the same time. That would be a lot. This is purposely restricted. It's still powerful, it's still cool, it's still better than just having your one class and that's it, but it's not completely overpowered, and I did that because I also want to be able to play with this or use it in 5e games. I want other people to be able to use it in 5e games without breaking the system. So the recommended spells, or the expanded spell list for Warlocks, those are the only spells that you get. You don't get to pick your own spells. It's like, oh, this is the patron. They have certain magics. They have access to certain magics that they give to you. That's all they have. They can only give you these spells because that's all they know. This is the power that, if you serve the Great Old One, he's going to give you mind reading and whatnot. Those are his powers. He's not going to give you Fireball, right? If you make a pact with the Fiend, he'll give you Fireball, right? So you actually get to choose, oh, this patron will give me something that this patron won't, right? It makes the patrons different. They're actually unique from each other. It's not, oh, this one has an expanded spell list. They have 8 new spells. Like, really? That's it? That's the only difference between this patron and that one? Is this a few optional spells? I say, no. There's hardly any crossover at all between any of them because all their expanded spell lists, which are really the only spells you get, are completely different. You do get to choose your own cantrips, and you get 4 by the end. You get all of the Warlock features and all of the subclass features from each patron, all in this system. So you eventually get everything, but it's just through piety and giving your soul shards to an entity rather than just leveling up and picking it, right? It should feel this extra thing added on where it's like, I'm a fighter, but I serve some entity and I have extra stuff. Yeah, I lost my soul, but I have extra stuff. Anyway, so instead of a proficiency bonus for like casting spells and whatnot, yes, your charisma is your spellcasting stat. But instead of using your current proficiency bonus, you get a pact bonus based on how many soul shards you've given. So in the same way that you're level 1 and you have a +2 proficiency bonus, in this you've given 1 soul sliver away and you have a +2 pact bonus, right? And when you've given away 8 soul slivers, you have a +3 bonus. When you've given away 9, you have a +4. When you've given away all of them, you have a +6, right? So it progresses as you go, and it progresses really fast in the later half, in the last 5 because it's special. We'll get to it anyway. The cool thing about that, yeah, you have your own proficiency bonus thing for those spells, so it doesn't just key off of your main thing because it's supposed to feel separate. You were given a separate ability, separate from your class. It doesn't use your class rules. It uses this thing. But also, cool thing. This may sound like, oh great, marshals get to multiclass without the penalty of actually taking up a level. It's just a warlock multiclass. Except this also works for casters. I really like the idea that a caster can be like, oh yes, I want to make this deal with some Eldritch Patron. I want more power. I want the devious, fiendish power, right? Casters, you would expect to make a pact with a patron even more than martial characters would, right? So what do they get? Yeah, when they are casting their pact magic spells, they use their charisma and their +2 pact bonus. But also, they get to add their pact bonus to the spell attacks and spell DC of any other casting they have. So if you're a wizard and you have a +5 to hit, and you have a +2 pact bonus, it's now +7 to hit. So you draw on the power of your Eldritch Patron to enhance your existing spells, right? Your spell save, DC goes up from like 13 to 15, right? Like it encourages you to be like, I want more power. I want it quicker. I want to cheat. It's super cool. But the thing is, you're giving away your soul. And currently it's like, okay, well, how does that actually mechanically impact the characters? That's for the future supplements because there are lots of other things you can do with your soul that are useful and that I, Lord willing, will release in future supplements like this. But for now, yes, it is just overpowered to use your soul and go ahead and have fun with it. But eventually I'll have like the alignment stuff and maybe like oaths and things, and those will take souls and whatnot. So it'll be actually balanced. Like, oh wow, if I do a patron thing, that means I can't have luck, right? I have a new luck system that has to do with the same piety thing, like giving soul shards and all that. Anyway, so yeah, you get to add your pact bonus, charisma. All the spellcasting rules are the same. One more thing, you when you get when you make a pact with a patron, you have a certain automatically assigned pact, like a pact of the chain, blade, tome, talisman, right? And you don't get to choose those, right? You don't get to choose your spells, you don't get to choose your pact. The patron chooses that for you. The patron says, hey, I'm the Hexblade. I'm going to give you a pact of the blade. You don't get to choose tome. I don't give out tomes. I'm a Hexblade. I'm the Hexblade patron. I'm not going to give you a tome or a talisman or a chain or whatever you want. I'm going to give you a blade because this is my pact, not yours, right? And so, you do pact to the Great Old One. He's like, pact to the tome. Not giving you anything else. That's how I communicate with you, right? So, again, fewer options in that, so GMs, it's not overpowered, they don't get to mix and match and have all the flexibility that they would in the Warlock class. This isn't as powerful as the Warlock class, but it's definitely flavorful. It matters, it matches. You have to actually
this patron will give me this, and this one will give me that, and they're different, and I can't mix and match them. Like this one, they're actually separate from each other. Your Eldritch Invocations, your Pact, your spells, those are all predetermined. You can't choose those, right? The patron decides, here's the invocation I'm giving you. These are my abilities, right? This is the spell I'm giving you, right? You do get to pick your own cantrips. Anyway, lastly here, just to sum up, after you give all 8 of your soul slivers, you'll notice that you only get up to 4th level spells. And your Pact bonus is +3. It's like, all right, I've given away all my soul. What else is there? It's like, that's when the real fun starts. That's when great services come in. And so we go back to this. While devoting your own soul slivers can grant you great benefits from your patron, the height of power is achieved through great services performed for your patron. The tasks can range from a quest to obtain a relic, killing a monster, or making a sacrifice, depending on the nature of your patron. And they are only offered to a soulbound, warlock, who has proven themselves loyal by devoting all of their soul slivers to their patron. Right, and so the GM, as always, determines what great service your patron demands of you, or if there is even a great service. If the patron doesn't want you if the GM doesn't want you getting access to 5th level spells or 6th level with the Mystic Arcanum, they can be like, the patron has no more work for you. That's the max, right? They can easily do that. But yeah, this thing actually makes it feel like you're striking a bargain with some otherworldly patron, and you have to actually do services. It's not just automatic level up. It's like, no, in order to even give each of these soul shards to your patron, you have to serve the patron. The patron isn't just going to accept your soul and be like, oh, give me all your soul shards and here's all this power. It's like, no. He's like, I want to know you're worthy. You can give me your soul, but I want service, right? Usually a patron isn't just going to accept the soul. He's going to accept the soul with it, because holding parts of your soul is how he, it's like the bridge. He puts power into the soul sliver that he has, and it goes back to your actual body, and then you get power, right? So he needs more of your soul shards to give you more power, but that's not all. He's going to want you to actually serve him and do things, and maybe it's kill every elf you see, or go burn a library for me so I can absorb all of the knowledge in the place. Like, use my blue eldritch fire that I give you, burn the entire thing, and all the knowledge from all the pages that you burn will go straight to my mind. This is the service I want, and then you can devote your 3rd soul shard to me, or maybe that's the thing that he requires for the 9th service. Anyway, after you've given all your 8 soul shards, then he requires great services. He requires a minor service for you to even give him each of the 8 soul slivers. But then in order to get access to 9th level spells, Mystic Arcanum, 5th level spells, all the higher stuff, you have to actually do these great services. And doing those great services increases your Pact bonus. You get Mystic Arcanum, you get a new cantrip, you get a whole bunch of stuff. After that, you get more spell slots. Everything increases in the rate at which you gain things increases exponentially after that. So it's actually really cool, and it's totally understandable if the GM doesn't want to give you all that stuff on top of your class. Anyway, super cool, and it's completely free, 100% certified, pointy hat free. There are all of the I don't know why that says that. It's supposed to say the home brewery. Anyway, there are all of the 7 major patrons: Archfey, Celestial, Fathomless, Fiend, Genie, Great Old One, and Hexblade. I didn't do the Undead or the Undying because they're the Undead and the Undying, right? Anyway, it's completely free. It is in the description of this video, and it's on my Discord server. So if you want to hang out with other folks, hopefully maybe playtesting this, because it's technically a playtest, then feel free. And join the server, join my Patreon, please. I really need money. Seriously, I need funding. If there's some millionaire out there that can spare an extra $10,000, I would really like to have it, because I really bloody have multi-million-dollar ideas and work written down. It's not just ideas in my head. It's I have 3.5 million words of stuff, and I want to make it. I want to make the books and the stories and the games. And there's so much here. I just need funding. I need a Kickstart. I need Kickstarter would be nice, but I need some funding. So if all you can do is Patreon, if all you can do is like and subscribe and just help the algorithm, feed the algorithm, comment and all that, that'll be great. Share this. I'm trying to get word out there. I'm trying to get some major funding, because the stuff I have, it's not just a conversion to 5e. I'm limited by 5e. This isn't the best I can do at all. When I actually show you the best I can do, it'll be awe-inspiring. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless. Have a good day.